On behalf of GIT, the group of institutions, I welcome you all to this online class of Pune Science College. Today, we will read a special poem, a very important poem, that is the Ballad of Father Gilligan by William Butler Yeats, an Irish poet. Before to start the poem, I want to introduce the poet William Butler Yeats. He is an Irish poet, a dramatist and a mystic, means who believes in God and religion. He was born in the year 1865 at Sandmount in country like Dublin, Ireland, and died in the year 1939 at the age of 73. He is considered one of the important figure of 20th century. He is responsible for the revival of Irish literature. His most notable works are When You Are Old or Anxiety, a dialogue of soul and self. He was also a versatile writer, means a writer having various qualities, and wrote his poetry in many forms. He received the Nobel Prize in Literature in the year 1923. The poem, as the title says, is a ballad, means a long poem generally swung with regular short stanzas which tells a story The setting of the poem is in a countryside because in this poem the poet describes about green field, horse riding, rocky lane and fen. Rocky lane means rock-like hard surface, and fen means wet and marshland. The poem is made of multiple stanzas, 4 lines. There is a regular rhyme scheme of this poem. Each stanza has a rhyme scheme of A, B, C, B, means the first line and the third line are not rhyming with each other, but the second line and the fourth line is rhyming with each other. Now, I am going to present the summary of this poem, The Ballad of Father Gilligan. It is a story in a poetic form. The story starts like this. The story starts with the introduction of Father Gilligan, an old priest. He helps his people who are under his church. Half of his people are in bed or buried under the ground due to a great pandemic. He treats all the sick people and conduct funeral for the dead. He treats them day and night and becomes very tired. One day, due to his tiredness, he is about to sleep on a chair. The presence of insects indicates it as evening time. At that time, someone calls for the priest's help. That means a man came to serve a sick man. The priest feels upset because he was very tired by serving the sick people before. His continuous help to the needy people and his tiredness makes him to get upset. Because of his tiredness, he says that he does not have rest, happiness, or peace as people under his parish die continuously. Immediately, he feels sorry for saying such words. He begs God to forgive him because those words are spoken by his body and not by him or not by his soul. Then Father Gilligan kneels down on the floor to get forgiveness from God. He leans on the chair and prays, and due to his tiredness, he sleeps. Now the insects have gone, and the stars begin to appear in the sky. As night starts, the sky is filled with stars. Due to the flow of wind, leaves are falling from the trees. God covers the world with darkness and speaks slowly to mankind. Creepings of sparrows indicate the early hours of morning time. The insects come once again. At that time, Father Gilligan wakes up from his sleep. He is shocked to know that he slept for a long time. He blames himself by saying that the person who needed his help might have died. He wakes him, then she wakes his horse and rides it very fast to attend that sick man. He rides rashly over narrow roads and wetlands and reaches the sick man's house. By seeing the father, the sick man's wife wonders that he has come again. Father asks whether the man died, and the wife replies that he died an hour ago. In sadness, the priest walks to and fro. The woman replies that after the priest leaves, he died in a peaceful manner. Hearing such words, Father Gilligan kneels on the floor. He says that God has made the stars at night to comfort the souls. He might have sent one of his angels to help the sick father, to help the father. God is a king in purple color robes and takes care of all the planets. He realized it, Father Gilligan realized it, and he understood the mystery of God. It shows that God has many big responsibilities. Even with such responsibility, God had pity on a simple person like Father Gilligan when he slept. Father Gilligan feels grateful to God for his kindness and merciful to him. The poem shows the love and care of God for whom all the lives are equal and important. The central idea of the poem is to show that God is merciful. He sends help for those in need of it, and at times when they need it the most. The poem also shows the Irish countryside and its poverty, and is yet one of the very few contributions of Irish folklore. The tone of the poem is sad and depressing at first, with all the deaths of the people of Paris. It turns repentant when Father Gilligan asks forgiveness for his mistake. Then the story turns hurried and suspenseful as he rides quickly to the man's house. Finally, it turns hopeful. It shows that there is a help to those who need it the most. Thus, the cream of the story is service to mankind is service to God. What Father Gilligan realized, because in his absence, God had sent an angel to serve the sick man. So, in this story, we have to learn so many things like religion, and we have to build a faith on God, and we have to decide, or we have to try to help the people, to help the poor man in this world. Thank you. This is the summary of the poem, The Ballad of Father Gilligan. Please listen this video carefully. If you have any doubt, then call me. Thank you.